1:15 a.m. Eastern time each and every week. Shout out to everybody that's been listening to the show all year long. We love each and every one of you, and this is such a jam that we can close out the year with a full calendar year of doing this show 5 days a week. On this show, we discuss all things NFTs, crypto, blockchain, entertainment, technology, AI, finance, everything in between. I'm your host, P.O., here with my co-host, the one and only Nifty Nick. Kicks too. Kicks needs to jump on stage on the Twitter space, but that's okay. He's on the stream. He's on the simulcast. But I'm really excited to get into this. The last episode of the morning show in the year 2022, and what a year it was. There were so many things that happened. And we got a lot to talk about what's happening today as well. But yeah, I mean, before I go any further, just excited to throw to some of my co-hosts here. Nifty Nick, how's it going, amigo?
I'm all right. I feel like I slept better last night. I feel like I'm recovering. I'm on the mend. And we're headed into a New Year's in which I'm maybe capable of stepping outside my apartment, which is what I'm very hopeful for.
Ooh, I mean, well, that's a big bet. That's a big bet right there. So I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend, Nick. You feel like you kicked the bug? You got it out of your system?
No, I said I'm on the mend. Like it's a process. It's not. It's not a straight line up to the right, unfortunately. But it's a gradual one.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend. It's happening gradually. Spencer, how's it going, amigo? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. The year's treated me well thus far, and so I can't wait for the next one. We're in a bear market, but the vibes are immaculate.
Are you taking any tax losses today? Like, is there any stuff that we can look to be selling off? Because that's something I was looking at. I went to a tax loss site that my friend sent me, and I crashed it.
Yeah, it sounds like a great way to get scammed.
That's what I thought as well. But I still have NFTs in my wallet.
Yeah, I'm certainly doing a little realizing of some losses. I think that's the prudent thing to do. There's a lot of different stuff that are prime candidates for tax loss harvesting. And there's a lot of stuff too that even if it's not down in ETH prices, if ETH is down a lot, even like the simplest thing is if you convert your ETH to WETH, that's a tax realization event. Mm-hmm. So if you sold your NFTs for ETH, for example, and ETH was high and it's gone down, which let's be honest, that's happened to a lot of us, then you can just go ETH to WETH and it counts as realizing the loss for tax purposes.
Yeah, people should understand that the wash trading rule does not apply to crypto assets. It just doesn't, and that's been the case for a couple of years now. So really, no matter what, if you're bullish or bearish on anything, you can always reset your cost basis. But of course, we are not CPAs. Discuss those types of things with your accountants. Spencer, reminder also to join the Twitter show so that we can have you on stage, buddy. There was also a really funny comment from the video version of the show with Spencer the other day. Spencer had all of his plushies, like he had his Beans plushie and some of the other plushies that he had, and like a sweatshirt that had patches. It had like the CryptoPunk and, all the different kind of patches for the NFTs that he had. And one of the comments was like, is Spencer trying to shill all of the NFTs he owns at the same time? I got a big kick out of that. I thought that was hilarious. Also, shout out to Coffee Attack with a little $20 Canadian donation. That's about $8 American. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to all the Canadians out there with their CAD money. Appreciate you guys giving us a donation. They said it was coffee money. We'll make sure that Nick goes and pisses off some baristas with it. I was actually telling Nick, I went to a coffee shop here in Brooklyn yesterday that I think is the kind of the Super Saiyan version of the coffee shop that Nick gets pushback at. So I want to maybe film some content of him going in there because I think that'd be a really good one. Nick, why don't we shout out some members of the audience? Did you already have anybody picked out? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and start the shout outs going.
You can go ahead. I was busy trying to get my computer working because it was in the process of crashing, but now it's almost resolved. Let me grab him.
Great to hear it. We got Girl in the Verse in the crowd. So Girl in the Verse is keeping the community laughing and informed with weekly 60-second rapid fire videos. She spent 10 years on radio and TV. She's here to learn, connect, and support women in Web3. Got to meet Girl in the Verse down in Miami when she was down there for the Rug Radio event. Great to have you in the crowd. We also have Sickle Ickle. .eth, I think or cyclical. Cyclical spelled like sick, S-I-C-K. He's a founder and lead designer at TF Apparel LLC, a Web3 investor and trader, a bass maxi, so a musician. So he doesn't want to hear about your harmonica or your banjo. The guy plays the bass. That's what he's into. Don't try to mix it up.
Man.
So
Slapping the bass.
I was going to say Mulan is a fan of Daily Dose and Nifty Portal. Thanks for that, Mulan. We're looking for fans. We need more fans. Martin Centivani, buying the top, selling the dip. That sounds like me. No wonder you're tuned into the show. Crypto enthusiast and NFT wannabe collector surviving the bear without losing any on FTX or 3AC, Alameda, etc. Well, sounds like you dodged a bullet. And shout out to everyone else who didn't lose money on FTX. That was a big story this year. Joe Big Beans likes the art.
I mean, you got to love a guy that keeps it simple like that. We got Laver Dude. It says, he says, Father, Crypto GameFi Maxi and DGen, here for the fun, financial independence research and positive engagement. He's the host of Chicken Soup. So we love to hear that people that host shows are listening to the show. So shout out to you, Laver Dude. We'll do a couple more here. We got Swanky in the crowd repping a pretty cool Moonbird. His Moonbird's black with purple eyes, has a gold chain and some devil horns. Pretty cool Moonbird, I must say. He's very nice. He's an NFT market researcher and investment strategist, a crypto early adopter. That means that Moonbird didn't cost him that much because he bought Ethereum at like $5. And he said to follow him for best practices, insights, and ice cold takes. Sounds like he ought to collab with Nick on some of those ice cold takes, right, Nick?
No, I'm not interested in collaboration. Fruity Trippin' Ape.soul loves to travel, bilingual individual. Steppen and Genopet's beta tester is Trippin' Ape number 5586, a community manager and crypto NFT trader, also based in New York. Shout out to a New Yorker who's a Fruity Ape. You know, I've seen a lot of gang members in the streets recently. The Fruity Apes have been storming many of the areas around the city, and it's been causing quite a lot of disruption, really, stopping traffic. I believe some people were even shot in the process as the Fruity Apes were navigating various areas of the city. It was not good. So they're a dangerous crowd.
Damn, it sounds like it. I mean, hey, everybody stay safe out there. Be careful of the Fruity Apes. One last one. We got Brandon Riley. It says that he is pursuing health, fitness, and freedom. He's in love with Bitcoin. So shout out to you, Brandon. He's Bored Ape Yacht Club 586, VFriends number 420, Gift Goat number 420. That's got to be a valuable asset. Says that he's a daily doser. I also see him repping a coda on the shoulder of his Bored Ape, and his picture looks like it is probably in some place tropical, right? I can't tell if it's like the Bahamas or if it's just a place in the domestic United States like Miami. But regardless, pumped to have you in the crowd, amigo. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on
Nick,
one sec.
Yeah.
One sec. We're not done here. I need to shout out Gray Block, who's a Proof 2Xer and a Moonbird 4Xer and is fully on chain. I didn't realize that there were many Proof 2Xers anymore. I thought that was a dying breed, basically. A lot of the there's been a lot of FUD. It's been a lot of FUD. So it's interesting.
Does a 2Xer mean that he has 2 passes?
Yeah, that would be my assumption. And it puts you in an elite crowd. That was something that used to be celebrated. Now that audience is incredibly poor. It's a situation that they've been dealing with. They used to be fabulously wealthy when you had 2 Proof passes. Now it's just hard times have fallen upon the 2x proofers. Basically, it's a
Diamond handing
situation.
that is great in the bull run.
Well, shout out to everybody that's really struggling out there that has 2 proof passes. I'm sorry to hear that you guys have 2 of them.
He also lives in the blockchain, which means that he or she could be an AI.
And that's something, you know, and these days that's something that you basically have to worry about left and right. I mean, it did say that the guy is fully on chain. And when you think about it, if somebody's buying their groceries on chain, if somebody's like ironing their clothes on chain, then what's really the difference between them and an AI? So I like the way you're thinking about this, Kicks. Ladies and gentlemen, given that this is the last show in 2022, why don't you click on that bottom right little thought bubble, that little comment button, and let us know what your favorite moment of 2022 was. You know, it can be an NFT moment. It can be a crypto moment. I'm assuming your favorite moment won't be the FTX collapse, but if there was any fun moments, any crazy moments, like, hey, I had a proof pass that was worth $400,000 and I sold it, you know, anything like that, definitely post those in the replies to the show by clicking on that little purple button at the bottom right corner of your screen, and we'll shout you out by name. We'll recap some of those events, and we'll go through some of our own as well. But
who you kissing on the New Year's? That's what the people want to know as well. You can post that as well if you're interested. You know,
Could have been warming up under that mistletoe.
I wanted to do a video of that actually, and then I sent Pio a TikTok of somebody that was attempted to do a similar concept. I don't think it was as well done as we had envisioned with ours.
Definitely.
But I think we may have missed it and have to wait for next year for us to do our mistletoe video.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, the one that Nick sent us was just not that funny. The guy wasn't that charismatic, but the vision for that video that never got created, but it might get created in the future, would be Nick like being like in the lobby of a building or in the elevator.
In an elevator.
In an elevator, and like, you know, someone walks in and he's just got a mistletoe in his hand and he's like, oh, it's the rule. It's the rule. You know what the rule is, you know? So, you know, we thought that might be funny. There might be a way to do that.
So we also were trying to get arrested during this prank. So we thought it would be really hilarious if we could like push the limits, because an elevator is somewhere where people don't have an exit. So forcing things upon people in an elevator is something great.
So like not just sexual assault, but you could also maybe get a kidnapping charge.
We were hoping to pull an Andrew Tate. That's what we were hoping to do here.
I'm just a little human trafficking added on top. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with a mirrorless camera and a mic, like, you know, just getting ready to shoot that. Anyway, let's get into the weather report. King Kicks, I know that you have.
Also, there's one other thing before the weather report. It does appear that there is. Oh my God! Excuse me, but sneeze.
Oh, big sneeze.
A POAP today.
Oh, there's a POAP today. That's a jam, and I guess we're allowed to announce it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've really been walking on eggshells trying to figure out whether or not we can disclose the very proprietary information of there's going to be a POAP on the show today.
I like the window that they selected is after the show ends, so I guess we'll have to go for a few extra minutes here. But
you know, gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. We're clearly really dialed in with that squad over there. But look, regardless, there's going to be a POAP today on the show. We just announced it, so make sure that you stick around till the end. I guess we're going to go a little bit long. It is New Year's, so hey, why not? And we'll make sure that
we're bringing in the New Year's with this show today. So I bet you didn't know that we're going through the end of tomorrow into Sunday. That's how long this show is, and then during that time there will be a POAP.
I mean, now we're talking. Stick around through New Year's, ladies and gentlemen. But King Kicks, please take it away. Run with the weather report. We're pumped to hear it.
Yeah, you better fucking be pumped to hear it, dude. It's the last one of the year. I think I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Today is Friday, December the 30th, 2022. Last weather report of this year. Then we're going into the next year. That's how it works. OpenSea volume coming in at $10.8 million. Still doing great. Blur, $18.9 million. Looking at Apes, a little bit of a pullback to 75 ETH. Mutants, similar, 10% down, 16 ETH. Punks, they don't move, 65.4, or we didn't edit that. Either way, those are holding pretty steady. Moonbird, 7.7. Doodles, 6.5. Clonex, 5.9. Nick was asking about great tax loss harvesting opportunities. That's one for me right there. That's in the gutter. Looking over at Pudgy, still holding up in the mid sixes, 6.45. And Azuki's down in the low threes, 13.39. Looking at the leaders across the board, we have Other D leading the ranks. A little bit of a pullback there, 1.4. Mutant Hound Caller still holding up fantastic, 1.5 ETH. If you've been holding potatoes, you got to be happy. Potatoes back up to 2.5 ETH in anticipation of Captain's Mint next week. That's awesome. And if you don't know about Japanese NFTs, you don't know about making money. Live Like a Cat was one of the biggest movers. The Japanese collection is run by the well-known team and advised by the founder of Crypto Ninja, one of the biggest NFT communities. Team held back over 9K NFTs. I mean, why not just hold it all back and just squeeze that supply? They curated that allow list. Floor went from 2 ETH to 4.6 ETH in 48 hours. That's some cash. Red Pill NFT was one of the mystery projects from yesterday, playing on the Matrix film storyline. Red Pills are 1K supply, free mint, and holders encouraged to hold at least 2 pills. Stage 2 mints today with 1,000 characters. Red Pills holding at 0.13 ETH. They've actually shot up since then to about 0.18 ETH. So there was multiple mystery projects. That's when the red flags go off for me. That makes me think that it's just the same people launching a bunch of things over and over again. Just a bunch of weird stuff going on. Last but not least, on the past 24 hours, we have on the backs of Pudgy's acquisition success story by Luca Net's Oni Force, with Spencer brought up 2 days ago on the show, a project from 2021 pumped after rumors circulated that there will be a transition to new leadership. At peak, the collection traded at 12 ETH. That was for about 5 minutes, but tumbled down to sub 0.3 ETH. Rumors have pushed the floor up to 0.7 ETH, hoping the acquisition is more like a Pudgy, less like a Cool Cats. Quickly looking at crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, most of them are ranging. Solana puked yesterday, went all the way down to almost $8 before a big rally up to 917. But Bitcoin and ETH holding in their ranges, 16.5 and 1190. Back to you in the studio.
Fantastic weather report as usual, Kicks. If you don't mind, why don't you keep that audio going while I actually read the updates from the Nifty Daily Digest. So that is the daily newsletter that's published 7 days a week, 5 days a week, with handwritten stories by our very own Signal. You can subscribe at thenifty.com.
It's not just that you can. You must subscribe at thenifty.com if you want free NFTs. Like stop smoking crack. Sign up at thenifty.com. My apologies, Pio, but people just need to know it's not optional.
You never need to apologize for free NFTs. And ladies and gentlemen, we're following the model set by our forefathers of free NFTs, and we're really excited to do that. So sign up at thenifty.com, thenifty.com for that newsletter. First story, Blur announced changes to its royalty structure and will airdrop Blur token to creators of collections that trade on Blur. So it looks like a little bit of an angle to try to support creators in spite of the zero royalty structure on Blur. I'd love to hear it. UK newspaper, The Guardian, you've probably heard of that before, reported that the appetite for NFTs is so diminished that a specialized market has sprung up for collectors looking to sell off their once valuable digital collectibles as tax losses to offset their income tax bills. So that sounds like a little bit of a bottom signal story to me. I love hearing that. Love hearing the mainstream media angle things that way. Proof has announced that conference tickets will be available in January as NFTs. So it sounds like Kevin Rose and the gang is following the Gary Vaynerchuk methodology of having tickets as NFTs. We'll see what the appetite is for Proof. Gemini and its founders Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss are reportedly facing a potential class action lawsuit for failing to register its interest-bearing account as securities. Kicks bringing in some big tunes for that. That's of course in reference, and Kicks, if you could turn the music down just a little bit, that's of course in reference to the Earn product that Tyler and Cameron had rolled out and the subsequent collapse by FTX, and in turn the pressure put on Genesis Lending, which was the counterparty for Earn. Other than that, just some other little details from the space, as reported by our very own Beat Check. The last selfie by Xcopy sold for 200 Ethereum. So this is one of Xcopy's most iconic editions. It resold for 200 ETH. It is a 1 of 10 edition. Xcopy commented that he was struggling to sell the edition when it first came out. He had a half price sale to get it over the line. Pretty incredible stuff there. Other than that, triple digit ENS domains clearly do not care about the bear market. 333.eth was just purchased for 119,000 US dollars. That's 100 wrapped ETH.
What a deal.
What a deal. The triple digit ENS domains have become valuable because of their rarity, as there can only ever be 999 of them. Former guest of our show, Daniel Got Hit, said, digits just don't give a fuck about the bear market. Couldn't have put it better myself, Daniel. Last but not least, top tier Azuki NFT has posted a massive sale. So a rare fire hair Azuki NFT was sold for 203 wrapped ETH. Holy crap. Almost $250,000, 243K USD on LooksRare of all platforms. The Azuki floor is up approximately 10% in the past 7 days. Those are your NFT market updates. Some pretty wild stuff out there. Nick, do you have a comment?
I was going to give a little hint here.
Oh, you're already going to start rolling out the hints for the Poe app. Is that right?
Well, I mean, I think you already know what the code is going to be pertaining to. So if you got any guesses about what the code is pertaining to, you can feel free to post that in the comments, and I'll let you know if that's the case. But I feel like it's pretty dang obvious, right? If you were here for the first one, you may have recalled what that code was, right? It was, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something like, it was Happy Holidays.
Yeah, let me think about it. It was
Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
So this one is going to be somewhat similar. So if you have any guesses to what that may be, you can post that in the comments. What are you checking out here, Pia?
I'm just checking out that fire hair Azuki that sold, but I'm listening to you and the code.
Someone said code is Tub Talk 22, and I think that's pretty close.
That's actually that gentleman, Nick Nick, is actually who guessed the name of Easy's profile picture project correctly, and thus promptly won himself a portal. I believe that was 2 days ago.
There you go. Well, anyways, that's the hint. That's just what I wanted to say about that. Well, I'm disappointed that we weren't the acquirers of OniForce. You know, I would have liked to have just skipped the entire PFP design process and gone straight to moving forward with, executing on the project. But here we are.
But did you really want OniForce, Nick?
Dude, OniForce was at the top of my what was number one. You know, it was number one target. I don't think that there's anything higher. Their art has just been something that has resonated with me deeply for a long time now. And I've been thinking, we need to get OniForce. We need to own it. And we need to own it, you know? And unfortunately, it's not us that now own it. And that's something that I'm going to be dealing with for a while. My question is, what happened with the Trump NFT? Why is that at the top? Did something go down with Trump other than the fact that his taxes just got released?
Well, first of all, that's hilarious. Number two, they're down over 90% from their all-time high. So a lot of people would say that if you were buying at that all-time high, that's a failure.
Well, if you bought it when Kicks bought, you're still up almost over 2x.
Yeah, that's where I bought too.
Kicks, what percentage of these did you sell?
100.
There we go. So you're not a long-term collector in the Trump digital trading cards.
Nah, dude. I took that cash and ran with it. I had bills to pay. I had to donate some of the money to St. Jude's and stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to sit in there and hold those bags. Thanks, Trump, for the free money. Later, dude.
Love to hear it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into some of our favorite moments and some of the audience's favorite moments from 2022. Really excited to get into that. Just one reminder, today's show and most of our content is sponsored by SoRare. SoRare, of course, being the fantasy sports meets NFTs platform that is onboarding a ton of sports fans into the NFT space. If you look at the tweet that's pinned to the top, if you retweet that, and you sign up at thenifty.com, THENIFTY.com/SoRare, then you'll, first of all, have a chance to win a Jason Tatum NFT. Jason Tatum, of course, a top 3 NBA player this year, but also you'll get free cards to play with on SoRare. And if you do well in the competitions that you enter, you're going to get more free cards, some of which might be rare, that you can then use to enter more tournaments, win more cards, or you can just sell them for NFTs or ETH. So it's one of the biggest games in cryptos. There's millions of registered users, hundreds of thousands of monthly active users. And honestly, like when I think about it, I just think that the NFT space is just going to go more this way. Free NFTs. Some of the NFTs are valuable, just like there's a bajillion websites, but some websites are really valuable. So tons of free NFTs on SoRare, but if you keep winning, you'll get really valuable ones like Jason Tatum, like Luka Doncic, like LeBron James, and those can be really valuable. You can sell those, or you can use them to get more valuable NFTs. Really cool stuff. So retweet that tweet that's pinned to the top and sign up at thenifty.com, THENIFTY.com/SoRare. But listening to the audience, Jessica Yatrovsky, really talented artist and listener of the show, said that her favorite moment in 2022 didn't actually happen. So I wonder what Jessica is alluding to. I wonder what she expected to happen but didn't.
She expected joy and instead received depression.
Is that right, Nick? Do you think that that's what happened?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like the tone of that message, you know?
Oh, I didn't read it that way. I thought maybe she was hoping that, she was going to get a free NFT from us, and she didn't. I don't know.
That may have actually been the main goal, was to receive a free portal. There is another one being given out today in addition to the POAP, so I actually have to draw that. You still have a chance if you go to thenifty.com to sign up. You can get on the list. You do not need to unsubscribe and resubscribe. I just want to be clear about that. Everyone is included. As long as you're an active subscriber, you will be included in the drawing. We will be giving it out.
Love to hear it, Nick. Sarah Richardson, another very talented artist, Sarah Script, said that her favorite moment of 2022 was Tub Talk, obviously. Love to hear it, Sarah. Thank you for supporting our content.
Big Slade says the Pump It Up episode where I brought out the bike pump was a key favorite moment. To be clear, the comments don't need to be about us. If we were the most exciting part of 2022 for you, I mean, I want to say thank you, and we're grateful that we were able to provide that much entertainment. But I hope that there's something else going on. I don't have a life outside of this show, but I hope that you do.
Love to hear it. Rondell also referenced that exact moment. Chris said he could have paid off his house at the beginning of the year, but now he's down 80%. Now his house owns him. So that's a tough place to be when your house just owns you. It's definitely tough. We're going to keep reading some of these 2022
Rocket Girl got an AI comp from Claire Silver. So that's a fortunate thing. Sounds like you hit the jackpot. And
Spencer, what was your favorite moment of the year?
When Pudgy Penguins went to 7 ETH. That was his favorite moment of the year.
Not a bad one.
No shit.
When my portfolio quadrupled.
I mean, it's when I made all the friends along the way. You know?
Oh, yeah, right?
Really what it was.
Art Basel was probably a good one, right? A lot of good ended Art Basel.
I enjoyed Art Basel. I don't know. I enjoyed a lot of different moments. Like, I feel like I definitely had the toughest period of time from a trading perspective and just a work perspective during this year. There was a 6 months where I made a lot of really wrong calls.
Yep.
And
were they wrong calls because of your decision making, or were they wrong calls because the market just absolutely shat the bed?
I think I really just should have I took 70% off last December, and then I was just oh yeah, the other 30% I'm just going to use to make back all the gains that whatever. and I should have just taken 100% off and not participated for a while, because there was just this period of time where like things weren't working out the right way, and it was great projects that like you could make the right bet, but ETH just went down so much that like it didn't matter if you made the right bet, and US dollar prices, you're still down. And so like, it is what it is, but got to meet a lot of cool people, got to, go on. Other side was the top, but it was also the moment where I came on stage and met you guys. Like there's always silver linings to all these things. And like, I don't know, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I get to have and for everyone around me. So this was a banger year for me, and I'm sure there's gonna be another one coming up.
Love it. Love it, Spencer. My favorite moment of the year is Pixelmon Mint.
Was that? Yeah, it was this year. Oh, that was a good one, Kix. I just remember your face. I remember the degeneracy brewing deep inside you, where you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna spend 3 ETH on this thing," and that's gonna be a good call. Nick,
I gotta go with the other side drop, where I made a little mini fortune as well, which is causing me to take a bunch of tax losses here. And here's the deal. I'm going to be selling a lot of NFTs. I'm undercutting floors left and right today. Like literally my day is going to be me attacking floors in a way that destroys projects. So I'm interested in attacking the Pudgy Penguins floor with the Pudgy I bought the other day. Yeah. We're going to take a loss on that. So that's going to be one of the key things. And I'll tweet about it. So I'm going to say goodbye Pudgy Penguins forever. So that'll be one thing that I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be selling a number of other NFTs just as at as many losses as I can take. I may even sell my Bored Ape for 50 cents. That's the sort of attitude that I have here, just so I can take a loss,
And then and when people are like, why on earth you did that? Just be like, you obviously don't understand tax loss harvesting.
People just don't get it. They just don't understand. Oh man, I made money on crypto dick butts. So that was I remember that moment when that was crypto dick butts was pumping. For a moment there, I called my mom. Here is the biggest lesson, and I saw a lot of people tweeting about this, which is when you're feeling giddy about your gains, that's a good time to sell typically.
like if you're telling your mom about it.
I called my mom and was telling her about my crypto dick butt.
Go to fucking Africa.
What the fuck
You
was?
nigger.
Hey, get off stage, dude.
Oh
my God, we got some mentally ill people on stage. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Like to let different audience members on stage to mix up the show. Every once in a while on Twitter, you do get a mentally ill person. So sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have our podcast editor edit that out on the upload that we do to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go ahead, Nick.
So the thing I was going to say is I hate when when I experience that moment and I'm like, Mom, I just made like $5,000 in an hour. Like I'm a fucking genius. So you got to understand this is normal. Okay. This is normal activity. And then you don't sell it for that like massive gain that you had there. So that's something that I've been working on. I sold Ranga Black Box.
Now, did you ask your mom? Did you tell your mom the full name, or did you say it was CDBs?
I probably said crypto dick butt.
Okay.
I probably let her know.
When you send that over to your accountant, will you call it CDBs or full name?
My accountant is in the NFT space, so is very familiar with crypto dick butts and will gladly support that initiative. I took a loss on, I'm looking back here. Actually, no. I bought a Goblin Town for 7,000, sold it for 6,000. So that's not a huge loss because I also got one of their airdrops. But I've been trying to figure out things to take a loss on. But that's the biggest thing is not taking the gains when they're there. That was a big mistake, not taking them gains. And there's many of us that can look back on a portfolio that was thriving. And we just didn't sell. Apparently I sold this other deed land. I sold what? Huh. Interesting. Well, anyways, I took a loss on a Coda. That's interesting. So that was a good one. bought in and sold out. So yeah, anyways, that's my biggest regret of the year, I guess. But there aren't many.
Well, there you go. It sounds like you had a great year. Just want to mix it up a little bit and go to some of our audience members. We got Gene Parmesan on the show, introduced to the show this year, had some funny moments. Gene, you got your hand raised. What's going on?
Well, yeah, I just want to say, I mean, the best moment of the year, not just in in crypto or NFT, but in my whole life, is obviously watching Nick put a Doodles member in the hospital. A Doodle, well, I think it was a Doodle team member's father.
His
in the
father.
hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that just showed me that the Nifty, they're not here to mess around. They will, fathers are not off limits, and I think that's the attitude we have. It's PvP out here. If there's always someone or someone's father on the other end of a trade, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. I should have known better than to throw
Burnt Toast dad to the hospital. Why are you so riled up about that, Pio?
I think I'm feeling the aftermath of the crazy person that came on stage before.
Look.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
I was gonna say though, that was me, and I was blamed for that. Even Alexis Ohanian hopped into the comments telling Burnt Toast, "We stand with you, Burnt Toast." And
Nick, I wouldn't hit up Alexis Ohanian with a pitch deck for at least a decade. I'm sure a decade from now they'll be interested.
Hey,
in it,
what
you need
did
a
Drake
cool off
say?
period.
Serena, your husband's a groupie. That's what Drake said, and I think Drake was responding directly to the Doodles moment. He's a Doodles groupie.
Okay. Got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to throw, of course, to Bunny. Bunny, you change your bio every day. Today it says that NFTs are super neat. That seems like a pretty wholesome bio to have.
Yeah, I kind of dig them, man. Hey, Nick.
Who's that?
It's me, but it's Bunny.
Nice to meet you.
No, I've been here never mind.
Wow, Nick still not acknowledging Bunny despite being on the show every day and a paid content creator on the payroll for his contributions on Easy's show. Love to see.
How is this even legal, Pio?
I don't know. Bunny was one of the first, content creators to get onboarded for Easy's show. We're happy to have him in the squad. And Nick yet still doesn't realize that he works here, basically. Very interesting stuff. Jonah has his hand raised. Jonah, I want to hear your take. And then I want to go to Spencer to get his comments on some of these Azuki sales and things like that. Jonah, what's going on?
I am my penguin, and my penguin is me. That was my favorite moment this year.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. Johnny, or just Johnny, NFTs for 2 years and counting. What's going on?
I don't think that was this year, Jonah.
Wait, was it not? Oh my God. This space is too much.
Yeah, that was before, man.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know then.
Well, fair enough.
That's bad. That's bad. I need to see a doctor. That's not good.
Well, Spencer definitely hit it out of the park with his penguin trade. But Spencer, I know that you have exposure to the Azuki ecosystem. Beans specifically, do you also own Azukis? And if so, what do you make of the continued progress and the big sales that have been happening with Azukis?
Yeah, I own a bunch of Azuki. Honestly, one of the craziest things, if you go for the Spirit Azukis that routinely sell, and I always say this for the 120 ETH 10x floor, is there's so many of them. There's 150 as Spirit Azuki. That's a lot for a premium tier of a collection, but it does super well. There's just no bear market in Azuki right now is the thing. I think what you got to realize is the community that holds Azuki, I think has it just doesn't have the same volatility that a lot of the other projects have, in terms of even on when FTX collapsed, they went down to 9. That was when I bought a bunch. I think they were up to 13. They pulled back a little bit to 12.5 the floor. But the rares, there's just such a big culture of paying for them. There's almost this separate collection, which is the Azuki rares. And if you look at it that way, when people are looking at the trade-off between do I buy a Bored Ape or do I buy a rare Azuki, there's people buying rare Azuki for what you could buy a mid-tier rare Bored Ape for. And I think it's I've talked to a number of people who think that like if there's any collection who could really like give Yuga some sort of run for their money, it's Azuki, because Azuki has just such a different collector base that like where it's cool to own an Azuki is a different circle of people than where it's cool to own a Bored Ape. And that's where you could see them continue to grow. And it's just really clear that a lot of the big Azuki whales have like unlimitedly deep pockets, right? Like these aren't people who like there's enough people who buy these like Grail Azukis that are like 100 millionaire billionaires, that like there's even then a market for people who aren't 100 millionaires billionaires to like try and find opportunities to buy them because they think that there's exit liquidity in that demographic. And so like it's just it continues to be a perfect storm, and the project really hasn't had to deliver anything, right? Like if you look at like the difference, like Azuki, besides their website and a couple of cool parties, has delivered basically the same amount of Doodles, but you don't see their community kind of like drifting away in the same way that Doodles is. What's the cause for that? I don't really know, but the vibes are just like markedly different, right? And I think when you see what the more every time there's these sales, it continues having price history for these sales, right? Like it's just stunning to me every time, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they've delivered digital collectibles that their collector base is really excited about. And I guess their follow-up was physical gold collectibles that they auctioned off, like one-of-one pieces of art. I like your comparison between this and Doodles. I wonder if the issue with Doodles was early on trying to be too vocal about what they were going to do. And that's not even.
I hate the comparison to Doodles, man.
Okay.
I don't think that's comparative at all. Like, look at the merch alone is like one of the biggest things. You have Azuki partnering with Ambush, which is a high quality streetwear brand. Their partnerships outweigh Doodles a ton. You have Doodles charging $65 for a dad hat that looks like it's printed on Gildane. Like, to me, I think there's a huge discrepancy between the two. Spencer's right though. Like Spirit DAO alone is a massive value pull for Azuki, and why I think the 150 are valued at such a high price, because you get into an exclusive group with literally giga whales, whereas many other collections don't even have that. So it's like there's two very distinct social aspects to it. But I think that the comparison to Doodles is kind of off base, because you also look at like the Beans drop was huge and what gave value to an IRL event, whereas Doodles IRL events have been like solid. Like the putt seem cool, but like there's been literally people giving money at IRL events of Azuki, and then on top of it, you have the real world physical skateboards and a partnership with a massive streetwear brand that's Ambush.
Spencer, any thoughts on that? Any response?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that you're like exactly right. Like I think one of the things I've always viewed about Azuki is that like Spirit DAO, you just have to think of as like separate, right? Which is like it's similar to me to Ether Rocks, actually, right? I don't know if you guys remember, like Ether Rocks were selling for like $1 million back in the bull, but it was just like you were in this community of people who paid $1 million for like a JPEG of a rock. It's like similar here, where like the Spirit DAO is its own thing, where if you want to be in like the most active, like able to easily buy into Giga Whale community, it's just like easily Spirit DAO, right? Like that's like I can't think of any other like true like token gated like Giga Whale community. And then every time you have that big Spirit sale, right? That like if spirits are going to sell for 120 ETH all day, every day, then it's like hard for the Azuki floor to go that much lower, right? So like the way that the community, and I think this is like an interesting thing to look at, right? You have like on the opposite side, Pudgy Penguins, where there's like very, very few rares. Like there's 5 1-of-1s, 22 ice Pudgies, and 66 gold Pudgies, right? Like that's half the supply of rares if you're including golds, but at like the top tiers, it's like way, way less. You know, versus something like Azuki, I think like it's interesting to see as people are creating collections, it's not obvious what the supply of your rarest tier should be, right? You have like Moonbirds has 24, but like they trade nowhere near the multiple to floor that like Azuki rares trade, even though there's more of them, which is counterintuitive because you'd think like lower supply means higher value. But what I think Azuki has proved is that if you have this like higher end tier and you can support the price on it, like it's actually good because there's more of a community, like a community of like 5 people for 1-of-1s or 20, even 24 people. Like the least active chat in the Moonbirds ecosystem that I'm in is the like legendary Moonbirds holder chat, which has been an interesting thing. I don't think that's the case within Azuki. I would say probably the most active chat. I mean, I'm not in it. I'm not in Spirit Azuki, but from what I've heard from others, the Spirit DAO like community is very, very active, and it's also probably because there's like 125 of them, right?
Yeah, that's like a solid amount of people. That really interesting insight into Azuki. I mean, the way that Azuki has been able to sustain looks like right now the floor, obviously down from its all-time high, it's about $16,000. I think that's nearing like probably a 1.6x on top of, higher than a Moonbird. Obviously, it's a different structure because the Proof Collective, the Proof Pass is the top asset in the Moonbird's ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, reminder that today's show is sponsored by SoRare. So you can retweet the tweet that's pinned to the top and sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare if you want a chance to win a Jason Tatum NFT. If you're not an NBA fan, Jason Tatum is a top 3 player in the league right now, MVP candidate. So really a valuable card to be able to win. SoRare, of course, a free-to-play fantasy sports style game with NFTs baked in, meaning that all the player cards that you own are NFTs, so you truly own them. SoRare has been around since 2018, so they've been in the game for a minute. Highest fundraising round in European history. Ultra legit organization. We're pumped to partner with them. And when I look at brands like SoRare, I just believe more and more in the kind of like large user base. Most NFTs are free. You get them for free, but then there are other NFTs that end up having a lot of value. And obviously we're seeing that in other areas of the NFT space, both at the corporate level like SoRare, but also in the individual collection level. There's some examples of that too. So sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare, THENIFTY.com/SORARE. So we got Bad Religion on stage. Bad Religion, you are a crypto investor. You're into Solana.
Yes.
You're an NFT collector. It also says that you're a drummer, so you're a musician. Well, you came on stage, you raised your hand. What's going on?
Hello. I just wanted to mention the best moment of this year, 2022. That was when I met Pio and Easy on the Solana conference. Was my highlight, let's say. Also, I have some alpha. I think the meta for 2023 is going to be the derug meta. And I think Solana is already working on it. That is trying to understand that, trying to think that they're going to rug. And then in the end, they're going to say, oh, we were just joking and we are not rugging anyone. And I think it was very nice, that space yesterday with Easy and all the OGs, all the Solana OGs was amazing. If you guys didn't have a chance to listen to it, please do. And that's it. I hope like next year will be better.
Yeah, well,
sure.
Appreciate the shout out to Easy's show that he did last night. And I'm just going to mute your mic because of the feedback. Nick, go ahead.
I was going to say there's a bunch of NFT trades that we should get from this year as well. That like, did you know Star Catchers was this year?
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So there was Star Catchers. I saw some other ones that were in here. Sheet Fighter. I also saw
that was this year, huh?
I saw that I got Flyfish this year. I've lost $10,000 on that. So I'm actually going to be selling that right now for a massive loss. And I'm going to undercut that floor like crazy. So if you're interested in getting into Flyfish Club, I'll be buying back in, but I'll take that $10,000 loss on that one because that's absolutely ludicrous. There were a number of other ones this year that I saw in here. A favorite of mine was remember Crypto Ray Rays? Like people came on our stage and like, what was that? Crypto Ray Rays was like, they were trying to call it a instant, like a historical NFT or something like that, right? Wasn't that the narrative?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's just been so many moments. Crypto Ray Rays is a great one to bring up where people just desperately were trying to press a button and make money. And Crypto Ray Rays was a key one in that pursuit. Someone wanted to figure out a way to press a button and make some money. And that's how Crypto Ray Rays kind of played out.
I got one for you guys. Do you guys remember Street Machine?
Why do I feel like I remember it? I know Sheet Fighter. The
Machine was the one that everyone was like, it's an A16Z project that never revealed.
Oh yes, this is a great one. Oh, Nick, it did reveal.
All of us are shocked. We're like, wait, hold on. We didn't get the update on it.
Didn't these max out at like a 2-month reveal?
These maxed
Oh, they
out
went to like
over half
0.6,
mean.
0.7.8. Yeah.
Good God.
0.6, 0.01. Hey, but it's a storytelling NFT, so they'll tuck you in at bed at night.
The top narratives were this year overall, if you look at the whole year, the top narratives were historical NFT, great team. That's my favorite one, is just the arbitrary great team. They're an Anon team. We don't know who they are, but they're a great team. That was a good
I
narrative.
love the buyout meta. The buyout meta was my favorite. Cool Times getting, or not Cool Times. What was that? Cool Man's Universe getting bought out by Disney. That was a good time.
Sure, that's like a broader, like the IP so strong that someone's going to buy it and it's going to pump. Yeah, that's actually a good one, the buyout meta. And then it looks like, and then the fake A16Z funding, like they're backed by A16Z, except they're actually not. You know what I mean? Like that's an interesting one. I like that one. Nick, it looks like that one tickled your fancy. What do you think?
I mean, it's representative of the NFT space. It's like, what a hilarious spot. Even where we're at with Pudgy Penguins at this point is kind of hilarious as well, where we're just like, the guy started a business before. To be fair, the gel blasters, I've seen the TikToks for gel blasters, so that thing has like actually, they've done a great job. But like when the main projects that we're looking at is successful on Giphy, and that's like, it's just a ridiculous space that we exist in. Like just observing all the various projects in this space and the source of hype. I was going to post a tweet. I said it to Pio yesterday, and maybe I'll still tweet this out. I was going to say, imagine how high, I'll tweet it right now, but imagine how high Bored Ape Yacht Club's floor would be if they had done nothing.
Can you imagine how high the floor would have actually gone? Yeah, look, it was an interesting year for us in NFTs. And when I talk to some of the bright minds in the space, and I think about 2023 in the future, a lot of people are already kind of really far ahead and just totally past like the 10,000 collectible collections of, a profile picture entity. I'm not saying that those won't exist, and I'm not saying that there will be breakout examples that end up becoming what I view as grail collectibles, similar to a Michael Jordan rookie card or some grail, Marvel comic or action figure or something like that. But to me, that's the clearest path to like a Bored Ape or a CryptoPunk having insane long-term value accrual. And we'll shift more towards really, really extremely high supply entertainment product, free NFTs, where the rare ones or the enhanced ones are the ones that accrue value, but everybody's able to own a bunch of them that are free, and they're not really sellable because everyone can get those for free, but they encourage participation. And most importantly, the participation is actually fun. It's actually fun to be in the game versus just basically treating a collectible as a financial instrument, which is really what we do right now. So it's been fascinating to have some of these end of year calls and hear some of these people that are already just kind of onto that. They're like, that's kind of just what I'm focused on now. I'm not really focused on the current climate. Nick?
I was just going to say, quick reminder. So the POAP is upcoming. It's I'll just say it's in, maybe 15 minutes. We don't like to signal when it's going to be going down. Like we're not supposed to put that in advance because that would destroy the sort of like spontaneity of the experience. But I already hinted at it. Do you have any guesses,
Jonah?
Happy New Year.
Well, that's close. The second part of it is maybe in there. So if you remove the happy, that part of it may be part of the phrase, but there's still another part of it. So keep brainstorming a little bit. It's not far off though. I feel like you're going to figure it out. So just some hints and clues, which, there's no way anybody could guess when and what the code would be. It's a giant mystery. Most people have struggled for years to figure out the code of the POAP that we're dropping. But I believe in you. Someone asks, is there a website or something we go to for the POAP? There's a different one we'll be doing in the future, but for now, just download the POAP app on your phone. Literally going to the App Store, search
POAP.
Someone guessed the code that I see, at least on YouTube. I'll check whether or not people on Twitter figured out what it is. But it's hard to guess, you know? It's hard to guess. We're trying to make this as difficult as possible to claim so that you have the utmost pride when you get this NFT. I don't even know what it looks like. Is it basically the same one as before?
Yeah.
I think it's the same one as before, to be completely honest. But we have another one. We have some artists that we're speaking to. We got to give them a template, though. That's been the missing gap here.
It's going to be fun. And Nick, I mean, first of all, bravo to you, because the level of complexity here, people aren't going to be able to guess this. I feel like
they call me a world-renowned puzzle maker, actually, is what I'm known for.
I feel like we're going to end up generating revenue because people are going to reach out to you as like an escape room consultant and other insanely challenging puzzles, you know, because of your prowess there. Bunny has his hand raised. Bunny's still not getting acknowledgement from Nick. However, I'm curious to hear, Bunny, what's on your mind?
I figured out the code. He said Jonah was close. Jonah guessed Happy New Year. I think it's Have a Joyful New Year.
Wow, it's a long code, Bunny.
No, that's not even close.
Okay,
in 2023, I'm taking Bunny's job.
You're colder, I should say. It's not that it's not close. I said the second half is part of it, when I say that, I mean exclusively part of it. Do not add additional words. These clues are getting very, very difficult. I'm saying do not add words. Only subtract words. Okay, that's the first major clue. That's a big clue. A lot of people call me an escape room connoisseur, master of puzzles, as they would say. So we're only removing words, subtraction, not addition. There will be one other form of addition, but let's just say it's not with words.
I mean, they call him Clue Man Nick. Nick the Clue O'Neill. Wow, that's a pretty cool nickname, the Clue. That's pretty badass. Anyway, I'm going to throw to Gene Parmesan. Then I want to hear, you know, if I was talking about the future of NFTs and some people that are thinking about the future, but if you run a fund like Spencer Ventures, sure, you can think about the future, but you got to worry about the right now. And I want to understand what the right now looks like for January 2023 according to Spencer. And of course, the Kicks master too, because you already know Kicks is looking to get in and out. He's looking to bob and weave and get in and out for a trade. But Gene Parmesan, you got your hand raised. What's going on, amigo?
Keep your hands next to the head.
Bunny, I'll acknowledge you. I know that Nick doesn't. But yeah, I think, you know, you talk about a great team, but I mean, remember Our Planet, you know, great team, and, you know, Gangster All Stars, and all these things that are, you know, yeah, there are a lot of, you know, crazy low lights. But I think the highlight would be getting breakfast with you guys at the Win and getting just ruthlessly attacked for ordering milk. I mean, just curb stomped, verbally curb stomped.
Sorry, that was lunch. That was lunch.
That was
it was a late lunch.
It was
that
a
was
late
the
breakfast.
weirdest thing I've ever seen anybody do.
It was an early lunch. I've never recovered emotionally from that. I'm still seeing someone, actually, a therapist.
Just to give people context, we were in Vegas for the Web3 Expo. Gene had met up with us, and we brought him to breakfast. He came and got breakfast with us. And when we were like checking out after everybody put their orders in to walk to the table, someone was like, "Oh, you didn't bring your milk. It was just a glass of milk." And I was like, "That's not ours." And then Gene Parmesan was like, "No, I ordered that." And everybody just like turned their head and looked at him like, I don't know. I just hadn't seen a grown man order a glass of milk. Like the item that you asked for at the restaurant was a glass of milk. And his response was, "It's good for your bones and it goes well with pancakes," which was what he ordered, which is not incorrect.
But it's not even proven that milk is good for you. Like that's a bunch of nonsense.
No, it's not a bunch of nonsense. And anytime we get in a nutritional conversation, you know, I'm going to throw a flag there, Nick. Definitely not nonsense. The milk in the United States that's pumped with hormones, antibiotics, and steroids. Sure, you can, and the cows are grazing on and eating
Got a
grain.
lot of opinions on food.
versus grass versus grass. But if you go to England, for example, if you go to France or Italy and you drink milk, that's some real milk. That's some actual milk. Or if you go to Amish country in Pennsylvania, you get some of that raw milk. Make sure that you don't let it hit room temperature. You got to drink that stuff cold, but you know that that's good. Look, Bunny, real quick, do you have a comment here? Maybe not. The Bunster. Bunny's kids are yelling at him. So the hand raise was an accident. Spencer, what?
I figured it out.
You figured out the code.
He said, subtract the word. It's happy year.
No. Oh my God.
How much is he getting paid?
More than you make, Jonah. More than you make. We pay very well, Jonah. Spencer, I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on where the market is now? And Kix, maybe you can challenge and or corroborate the angles that Spencer takes here. Spencer, what do you make of January 2023? What are you looking out for? You just hit a out of the park home run trade with the Pudgy Penguins. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, amigo. What does 2023 look like for you? What's the next thing, Spencer? People want to know what the next thing is.
Well, I guess I've been talking about it for a while on the show, but like the thing that there's a bunch of like events that are happening in January. Like January is pretty jam packed in terms of like people like attempting to roll stuff out. Like we have the Blur airdrop. I'm pretty excited for. We've got Moonbirds and Proof have a lot of stuff that they're supposed to be delivering in the first quarter. Like Q1 is supposed to be the DAO, the Moonbirds, the burn for the Mythics starts, and I think they're supposed to do the token even in Q1. So Q1 is supposed to be super loaded for Moonbird's Proof ecosystem. I think that'll be a really big make or break it moment for them. They've definitely like had a little bit of a pullback here. There's a chance that they're a product that definitely has attention, and so they can recapture that community, that momentum if they execute correctly. I'm looking for that. I'm looking at there's a bunch of stuff teased in the Artifact ecosystem. Artifact similarly, I think, has had a little bit of a cool off. When the shoes ship, the shoes have something to do with like walk to earn something, like a step into style thing. Curious to see what's going to happen there. But I'm also just looking at ETH price, really. I think that's the thing that matters in January. Is it's not obvious to me what happens to ETH price. I wouldn't be shocked to see it go up to 1,600, 1,800. That's totally a possibility. If that happens early in the year, I think we might see a sell-off in NFTs in ETH terms. It could pull back further. If it continues to stay range-bound as it has, like in this 12 to 1,300 range, like that's a good environment, right? Like the prevailing thesis right now is that NFTs are just short ETH volatility. And so we had a pretty unvolatile ETH ever since FTX collapsed, which is funny to say, but it's been the truth. And that's why we've seen this really good environment for NFTs. If there's too much volatility in ETH, I mean, it might be good overall in US dollar prices, but I expect a pretty significant pullback in NFTs. And then there's also the nightmare scenario, which is like, if we go under $1,000 on ETH, like there's cascading liquidations in the DeFi world, and we end up at something like $500 to $600 ETH, right? Like that's a thing that's like really, really scary. But if we don't do that, like, I don't know, like ETH to me feels cheap right now, but there's a lot of big just question marks that are out of our control. I think the prevailing question in this coming year will be largely macro driven, but it kind of feels like this year will be sort of a nothing burger. Like it won't have high vol, which I think is good for us. The other thing too, and this is a little bit on a different topic, but there's one project that we can't end the year without talking about, because it's truly, I think, the craziest thing that happened this year was the end of Satoshi happened this year. We didn't talk about that, where the open edition end of Satoshi image will reveal he left Twitter, left MFers, and MFers still have a 1.2 ETH floor. It's to me, one of the craziest things that ever happened is the arc of Satoshi in the NFT space, which I think people who are like new entrants may not even know about. But
yeah,
Satoshi, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can finish.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Satoshi came into the space, just drew memes for a year on Twitter, then minted a project, MFers. Then a couple of months ago, as soon as the bear hit, said, next item on the roadmap. And the next item on the roadmap was that he was deleting his Twitter account. And the day he said he was going to delete his Twitter account, he did an open edition, which minted like 20,000 items. And one of the items said image to be revealed, and it never revealed. It's the most beautiful. And to this day, I'm dancing around calling this a rug, because I know if I do, the entire MFR community is coming after me in the comments, right? and it's just one of the craziest things I've ever seen, where the community that was I would argue rugged has just taken over the project and is defending it, and still pays the original creator royalties, 50% of the royalties. It's just bananas to me.
Well, that's it's actually very common in the NFT space. I think it's probably like the what do you call it? The sunk cost fallacy, because people have already invested their capital into the collection. So rather than like take the loss and run away, they're just like, no, they're just in denial. But yeah, I mean, look, a lot of good things brought up there, different things brought up. Kicks, any comment on that? And then we're actually a couple minutes away from a special event that I guess I can't mention, but I think you guys know what it is in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and just a quick hint. It starts with the letters POAP is what that event is going to be. So if you're trying to figure out what that is in a couple of minutes, just giving you some clues, some hints as to what's going on there.
Kicks.
Yeah, I love what Spencer said. I think it's like 100% spot on going into next year. If ETH is volatile either direction, it's going to have a big impact on NFTs and how we want to invest in them. But if it continues to be range bound between like 1,000 and 1,300, it definitely sets us up very nicely. I'm continuing, in Q1 2023, just looking for new projects in general. I think there's a lot of action to be had in new projects. And I'm also trying to just keep my mind open to what new projects can look like. Because I think my biggest lesson from 2022 was just fading things that I didn't get. And therefore, since I didn't get it, like I avoided it. Right. And a lot of those things were some of the biggest winners of the year, like ENS number domains, right? I was just like, this is dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. Therefore, I'm not going to trade it. And from a, an ROI percentage, that has to be one of the biggest gainers of the year, was that whole ENS thing. And I think as we're still so early in NFTs and figuring out the fun, innovative things that you can do there. So I think in 2023, there's going to be more opportunities like ENS domains or like Reddit collectible avatars. Another one that I faded for like a month. I caught some of the trade when it exploded. But with Reddit collectible avatars, if you had just been minting some of the early collections on Reddit, from bottom to top, I think that was a 10x, 20x, some sort of crazy returns on some of those projects. So that's what I'm looking for in 2023. Is just new things that are coming on the market that a lot of people aren't going to get and understand, and therefore those will probably be some of the biggest gainers.
We have some breaking news in right now. The POAP is live. We got the first part of the word was New Year, as was rightly guessed. The second part, well, you're going to have to figure out, but they're numbers. So what would you put after New Year with numbers? That's one of the biggest questions. It's going to be difficult to figure out. New Year
42069.
Exactly. That's definitely what you would do. It's what's the New Year? It starts with a number.
Starts with a number or finishes with a number?
I got it.
Oh my God, you got it.
Ryan Carson has received the POAP. Ryan.
It feels good. I love it. Happy almost New Year, y'all. Good to be here.
Happy almost New Year, Ryan. Are you enjoying the holiday week here?
Yeah, it's been good. Just out taking a walk, and I saw you all doing the show. I was like, I gotta listen in. So it's fun to check in and fun to get a POAP. Get someone else's POAP. Love it.
And do you mint your own POAPs? Do you mint the Daily Dose POAPs, or do you?
Nope. too stressful. You know what it's like trying to run the show and mint a POAP at the same time. No, doesn't.
I just did it. I'm doing it right now. I'm claiming all of our POAPs,
Nick,
and I'm gonna be the biggest collector, and I'm gonna get on the whitelist for our next NFT because of it.
Love it. Well, happy New Year, all.
Happy New Year, man. Congratulations on a successful year, Ryan, and thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, the POAP is still live. Wow, a minute is a long time during a claim window, because I feel like it, I was like, is it going to be closed yet? And I looked and it was only a minute. So if you're still confused about what the what the code is, I'm sure people in the
It
comments,
was hard to figure out, right? Because it started with the new year and ended with a 4-digit number. So how are you going to figure that out? How are you going to figure that out? It's going to be tough. But I believe in you all. Look, POAP doesn't want us to be explicit with these things. You know, they want us to be mysterious. And
I've tried every number from 0 to 2000, and I am just. I mean,
and you're just stuck. Try going up to 2010, and maybe you'll get it.
Well, Gene Parmesan, man, I'm surprised that you aren't able to deduce what it is.
Gene's actually running a script right now.
Gene,
Yeah.
it's because you drink. It's because you drink too much milk, bud.
I put
That's
it in the
what's going
chat
on.
GPT. I'm gonna have chat GPT figure it out.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know that you can leverage technology. You can always use AI. But if, like Ryan said, if you're drinking too much milk, especially in the United States, you're just pumping yourself up with hormones and antibiotics that they're putting into the cows. So it's probably scrambling your eggs a little bit. But yes, the POAP is live. So I'm getting used to hosting during the POAP. I don't know. Is the air that I'm filling over the next 3 minutes just me saying variations of the POAP is live, ladies and gentlemen?
I feel like you're good at this point. Like we don't need to keep the show going until everybody's until the POAP window is closed.
Well, we can, because I'm liking people celebrating and posting their POAPs. Also, I am realizing that the show is sponsored by SoRare. And you can sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare, THENIFTY.com/SoRare. Nick, are you a big time NBA fan?
Dude, I'm actually one of the biggest NBA fans in existence. I don't know if you know that, Pia.
Okay, well, if Jason Tatum, who is the NFT that we're giving away, if he's not going to win MVP, who's going to win MVP this year, Nick? Who's your number one?
The guy who's on the Mavericks. I'm blanking on his name, but I keep seeing him all over TikTok.
You are right.
Doncic.
Yeah.
Doncic.
Yeah, dude, I was supposed to be able to say that name. Jeez. I saw him doing some dunks. There was a highlight reel where basically he took the free throw, it bounced off the basket, it got juggled in the air, he caught it and made it midair, and it was basically a highlight of the season. He's crushing it. So I don't know about this Tatum guy.
Well, that was pretty. I was surprised.
One of Nick's favorite plays was rebound layup, highlight of the year.
Well, you clearly haven't seen that one, Kicks, because that is a massive hit. Sorry, was it supposed to be a full court shot? Is that the only way to impress Kicks?
I don't know.
It was a record-setting bucket. He had a 60-20-10 game off that and forced overtime, but I digress.
I love hearing Nick talk shop about sports. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare. Again, talking about free-to-play NFT games that are actually fun, where you can win valuable NFTs as prizes that you can then use to play the game better or cash out for USDC or ETH. Shout out to our sponsor, SoRare. We love having them as a sponsor. Well, look, we're going to wrap in a second here. Bunny's had his hand
One
raised.
second before you do that.
Sure.
There was two things.
Come
One,
on, Nick.
if you sorry there. What's your name again? Bunny. So what I was gonna say is what we should do, or sorry, I'm jumbling my words here. If you didn't sign up for the newsletter at thenifty.com, you still have 1 sec to do it, because I'm gonna grab someone to win.
Oh, we're giving away a portal too.
Yeah, I'm giving away a portal. It's a New Year's celebratory moment. I was even thinking we shoot some videos of us just giving some stuff away while we're at it. Like literally just donating money to other people on video.
What if we took our old, you know how when you're doing video production, you end up like evolving from previous gear and then you don't end up selling it on eBay? What if we just gave away video gear that nobody wants? Like,
dude, no, what if we go actually to a store, pay for people's stuff, and then actually say it's sponsored by Oracle, and then or like just start branding it by sponsors that don't even exist,
or like, hey, Donald Trump's campaign just paid for your thing. We go to like,
that's what you gotta do, 100%.
Wow, guys, you guys know you've made it in the POAP world. Somebody DM me the code and thought I really couldn't guess it. Shout out to
Well, Gene, you're so convincing. Like, you know, that the talent, it shines
Yo,
through.
shoot that over. Shoot that over before the clock runs.
buddy, I got
Yeah,
it.
and
I got you.
Gene, you best
Yep.
bet that person's giving you up for a favor down the road. Like, hey, you remember when I hooked you up with that POAP code? I'm gonna need to call that favor in.
Look,
Oh yeah, I've got like 30 daily dose POAPs. I'm sending them to that person. I'm sending them to that person for sure.
Wait a second here.
Oh yeah, no.
Gene,
Oh sorry, my
I'm
bad,
right
my bad.
here.
My bad.
Wait, 30 daily dose POAPs. Wait, Ryan, does that equal generational wealth? Would you say that 30 equals generational wealth?
It means Gene has a farming team that he works with every day. We don't talk about it, but that's actually what's going on. It happens
actually-
while he lifts weights. It's amazing.
how much money would you project people are going to generate from a generational wealth standpoint exactly? I'm just curious about that because as we move into the new year, sometimes what I wonder about is what the promise of tomorrow brings. How are we going for $20,000? Is that the number we're going for? Because that's what I'm hoping for Nifty Portal's floor.
Oh, that's why I bought my Nifty portal. So let's go.
Hey Nick, can I do a giveaway to one of whoever you guys select a POAP holder? I'll just like do a giveaway to one of them.
What's the giveaway?
Wait, I don't know. I don't know how to select a POAP holder. I'll give it to a newsletter subscriber. That's way easier for me to do that
whatever
right
you
now.
want to do,
I can do that.
Just pick one person. I don't care, and then you just DM me their name.
Okay, so two things real quick. Number one, we are.
I got the first one. They signed up yesterday. So
Okay, as long as they're not a bot, that would be like the preferred.
they're not bots. This
so
is a
two
real
things.
person.
Yeah, not
Okay,
not
cool.
going to be a bot. Second thing, I want to know, Jonah, what are you giving away? Is it a whitelist spot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we call it a realist.
Oh, I thought you were giving away another portal.
No, I'm not giving away my portal. What the fuck?
Oh, okay. Well, Jonah does have something coming out that I think people are going to want to get on the allow list for. So yes, Jonah, we will allow you to give away your allow list spot to one newsletter subscriber. So I'll let Nick grab one. Nick, I don't know how you're generating that winner, but maybe we can get someone that's been a long time subscriber.
I'm doing it randomly.
Okay.
Well, you want me to bias towards old ones? That's kind of.
Well, you just got a new one, so maybe, you know, because that
And
person.
preferably someone with a Twitter account, just because we're setting up systems and it's easier just to manually have Twitter accounts for now.
Yeah, so we'll get another one. And
Well,
ladies,
in case you're wondering, in order to subscribe to a newsletter, Jonah, you're going to need an email address, and that's what we're going to be using here. But you can email them, and they'll give you their Twitter account. That's what.
Good enough. Thank you, Nick. I'm learning how to run an NFT company. Appreciate it.
And people as normal are saying, what does the POAP get you? What does the POAP get you? Keep collecting them. We're going to work them in to the things that we have going on. Okay. So they're going to get worked in. All right. And it's not going to just immediately start washing your car or painting your walls or sweeping your floors.
It's also free. I don't know if you know that. It's free.
Yeah. But
The better question is, what doesn't the POAP get you?
exactly. What doesn't it get you? It doesn't.
Actually, yeah. That is a good point, Spencer. Have you seen The Promise of Tomorrow? Do you know what exists?
Probably not.
It does get you tickets to private jet rides. It does get you floor seats to the Celtics.
Also not.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're working it all in. You're going to see this stuff rolled out in 2023, and I'm excited. Just if you're interested in collecting the POAPs, do it. If not, don't.
Do you have a crippling drug addiction and need some more drugs? Maybe the POAP will get you access to that. That's the sort of things that we offer here. Family friendly.
We'll see. Nick, do you have a winner?
Yeah, but I'm not going to read out their email address. That's one of the issues that I run into
Yeah,
here.
no, this is like a DM situation. We don't. What if they use like their primary email?
Well, I'll just say that their email ends at compuarts.com. Compuarts.com.
Well, that's actually almost a full docs. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today. We hope that everybody enjoyed it. Hey, everybody stay safe out there. New Year's Eve can be a crazy weekend. Have a great weekend. Hang out with friends and family. Try not to be on Twitter too much. And
and also the POAP code is New Year 2023. That was the code. That's a little hint for you.
The window closed, Nick.
No, it lasts. Oh, did it close?
Yes.
I thought it was for 15 minutes.
Oh, maybe it is. Anyway.
Oh, you're right. It was a 5-minute window. My bad.
All good. Mint your POAPs. I'm sure everybody that wanted it was able to get it. I think there was something like 1,000 minted. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. We all survived 2022, and it was a gnarly year. It started off strong, but it was a gnarly year overall. We will be back next year. We're not going anywhere. Shout out to everybody that has helped us this year. Shout out to Spencer for formally joining the team as content creator talent. Bunny, same thing. Easy's first hire, one of the 3 first hires for Easy on the content front. Shout out to Jonah for being a collaborator. Definitely threw in some curveballs on today's show. We're going to have to workshop that, Jonah. Just kidding. Shout out to Node, the host of Node Mode, focusing on art in the NFT space. Shout out to my co-founder, Kix, for just having a steadfast, positive attitude no matter what. Absolutely hilarious. Not good at audio setups and various hardware-related AV situations.
Oh, if you ask me something about AV,
but we love him anyway. Shout out to Gene Parmesan for being a collaborator this year. Had a lot of fun with him. Shout out for Easy as he builds an absolute empire. Couldn't be happier about him being a partner and just fucking kicking ass with him every day. Shout out to Ryan Carson for just being an all-around badass and for doing his thing day in and day out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going anywhere. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. We're going to be doing more giveaways of portals and then also free NFTs like we've talked about. So check out the newsletter, thenifty.com, THENIFTY.com to sign up to the newsletter. Happy New Year, everyone. We will catch you in 2023.